We welcome you to the Max Schmeling-Halle in the German capital. Keeping sport in perspective, of course, volleyball serves as a distraction tonight for the people of Turkey as Ziraat Bank ANKARA arrive to take on Berlin recycling Volleys. It is a one-match playoff to decide which team makes the quarterfinals of the CEV Champions League. And the players have arrived. The first serve is less than 15 minutes away. It's a matchup that pits the reigning back-to-back German champions against the reigning back-to-back champions of Turkey. There's a crowd of more than 5,000 expected for this one, including several hundred from the Turkish community here in the German capital. So much support at this difficult time with those travelling here from the Turkish capital Ankara, and of course with that entire nation after such a tragic past week. And the players will show their respects and honour the victims of the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria with a minute's silence ahead of the opening serve. Berlin are the dominant force in Germany this century, winning 9 of the last 10 Bundesliga titles, including each of the last 6 in a row, taking their tally to 12 championships, just one behind the record champions Friedrichshafen. In Europe, they won the third-tier CEV Challenge Cup in both 1999 and 2010, before lifting the second-tier CEV Cup for the first time in 2016. The ultimate aim now to win this competition, having reached the semi-finals in 2015 and 2017. Ziraat Bank, founded in 1981, have won their first 2 Turkish league titles over the last 2 seasons, adding to a Turkish Cup win in 2010. In Europe, they finished as runner-up in the second-tier CEV Cup in 2018 and in the third-tier Challenge Cup 2 seasons ago, before returning to this competition last season for the first time since they were eliminated at the playoff stage in 2015-16. Last season they failed to make it past the pool stage, so this is rather unfamiliar territory for them tonight. The players of both teams going through their final preparations ahead of this one. We welcome you now inside the arena. It's a big night for both teams here in European volleyball's premier club competition. 20 of the best teams from across the continent made it to the main tournament this season. Lots drawn all the way back in mid-September. 20 has now become 11. And after tonight, it'll be 8 as they journey towards crowning a new champion in the super final in May. Here at the Max Schmeling-Halle, it is an all-or-nothing matchup in the playoffs of the CEV Champions League Volley 2022-23 season. Originally scheduled to be a 2-legged playoff, last week's first leg cancelled due to the tragic natural disaster in Turkey and Syria. That will not be rearranged. The decision made that the winner tonight will advance to the quarterfinals. Big crowd expected here in Berlin. It continues to build as the players go through their final warm-ups ahead of the official introductions. There's plenty of support for the Turkish team as well. Confirmation of the venue, the tournament, the fact this is originally the second leg, except the first leg cancelled, and now just a 1 straight knockout matchup between these 2 teams. The playoff round, a new addition to the competition this season. 5 group winners advancing to the quarterfinals. The 5 group runners-up and the best third-place team have formed these 3 playoff ties, with the winners of each completing the quarterfinal lineup. The second legs of the other 2 ties also take place this evening. The competition's reigning back-to-back champions Ziraat, Berlin's German league rivals Friedrichshafen, both with straight sets wins away from home in their first legs. So those 2 clubs firmly in the driving seats of those other 2 ties. The format slightly changed this season. We've been through those 5 groups of 4 teams in the pool stage. Now it's the new playoff round. A few extra chances for a few more teams to make it to the quarterfinals. Opportunity for somebody to creep in under the radar. And then from the next stage onwards, it's just the same as last season. Quarterfinal and semi-final ties played on a 2-leg home and away basis before the one-off super final to crown the champions in May. Can't imagine how tough it's been in preparation for Ziraat Bank ahead of this big game, with sport very much put into perspective. They want to have a break from everything else that's happening and give those in their country a break as much as they possibly can by offering some entertainment to distract. It's important to point out that all matches taking place today have been made available free of charge on CEV's YouTube channel, European Volleyball. Each stream has a donate function, allowing fans to contribute to the Save the Children International Foundation and their current campaign for assistance in Turkey. No fees taken from your donations, and we thank you, of course, very much for any help that can be offered. Berlin arrive into this one as the better team through this year's tournament in terms of serving, receiving and attacking. There's a big advantage for the Germans on serve, 2.14 aces per set compared to Ziraat Bank's 1.44. They also have better excellent and efficiency percentages on receptions and a narrowly better excellent percentage on attacks. Of course, they have the big home field advantage. Difficult to comprehend or try to predict how well the Turkish players can put those other events to the side and concentrate on sport. Berlin actually arrive into this playoff at a challenging time in their season as a volleyball club. They lost in straight sets in the Bundesliga on Saturday, their second domestic defeat in the space of a month. They'd only lost once all season before that. As for Ankara, due to the tragic earthquakes in Turkey, it is their first match in 13 days. They arrive into it on a 9-game winning streak since losing at Italian side Perugia in this competition back in mid-December. It's an unbeaten streak that includes 6 league wins, a Turkish Cup quarter-final win, and also the final 2 games of the pool stage in this competition. Over 5,000 expected in this arena, the majority of which, of course, will be in support of Berlin, but there'll be plenty of support for the men from Ankara as well. For Berlin, as we see their roster, Australian Nehemiah Motor and German Anton Bremer, 2 big middle blockers. Frenchman Timothée Karl, their second top scorer, averages 13.8 points a match. Ruben Schott, the third top scorer. And of course, Czech sensation Marek Schottler, one of the top scorers in the whole competition, averaging over 20 points. For Ziraat, Wouter Termat is tied level with Schottler as one of the Champions League's best scorers. He won the Bundesliga title here with Berlin back in 2017. Osmani Juan, a three-time winner and MVP of this competition. Bediran Bulbul, one of the highest scoring middle blockers this season. Setter Arslan Ekşi, league MVP in Turkey the last 2 seasons. And there's a look at Marek Schottler, the biggest weapon for Berlin. 125 points through the course of this campaign. With the exact same tally, Wouter Termat for Ziraat Bank, who will face his former club on his old stomping ground here in this one tonight. Those two scorers both tied joint 4th in the list of top scoring opposites across the Champions League this season. Schmeling-Haller in Berlin, ready for this rather unique CEV Champions League playoff, a one-off match to decide who makes the quarterfinals. As Berlin Recycling Volleys welcome Ziraat Bank ANKARA to the German capital in difficult circumstances. There will be a moment's silence ahead of the match. A moment's silence to honour the victims of the devastating earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. The Volleyball family stands in full solidarity with the people of those countries, and our thoughts, of course, with the thousands affected by last week's tragic events. We're now just moments away from finding out your starting lineups and the opening serve. Plenty of sporting support here in Berlin for the hosts, as the 2-time semi-finalists aim to make the final 8 again. A crowd of more than 5,000, but that of course includes overwhelming support for the country of Turkey and their visitors from their capital Ankara. What is a very tough time to turn attentions elsewhere. There are at least a couple of hundred tickets purchased by those within Berlin's Turkish community for this matchup, so plenty of emotion and a fantastic atmosphere anticipated here tonight. Have the introduction to your officials for this one. Get the introductions of the two teams. Beginning with Ziraat Bank ANKARA. The roster comprised predominantly of Turkish talent, but with a sprinkling of international experience and quality as well. Wouter Termat, the top scorer, is a Dutchman. Osmani Juan, an Italian. Arslan Ekşi, the setter. Like Juan, a 37-year-old veteran who's won it all. The head coach Mustafa Kavaz, who's been at the club in a coaching capacity since 2014, including roles as an assistant and second team coach. This now his 3rd season as head coach. These fans in the German capital ready to greet their team. The atmosphere building, the lights down, the noise up, fans on their feet for the official introduction of Berlin Recycling Volleys. to put a few domestic blemishes behind them, turn their attention to European volleyball's premier competition here tonight. Marek Schottler, the main man. Ruben Schott actually was on the same team that played alongside Walter Termat in Berlin when Termat was here. Now on the opposing side tonight, Cedric Inart is the French head coach of the home team. Moved to the club after winning the French league in 2018. He's now won the Bundesliga title in each of his 3 seasons here in Berlin, as well as a German Cup and 4 straight Super Cups. There are, of course, more important things right now. The world stands with the people of Turkey in their battle to overcome such a tragic event, but for some, for the next couple of hours, volleyball can at least perhaps provide a helpful and enjoyable distraction. It's Berlin recycling Volleys taking on Ziraat Bank ANKARA here for a place in the CEV Champions League quarter-finals. This place is bouncing already, and we're raring to go. The first serve to come from the setter Johannes Tiller. And this playoff one-off tie is underway, and straight away a score on serve for Berlin. Tiller with the body shot back to the baseline. Very positive start indeed for the home team. We've got a touch off the blocker, point for ANKARA. One of 2 teams from ANKARA in the competition, of course, this season. Ziraat Bank and Held Bank. Deflected back to the baseline. Now they're going to have to brace themselves. Ziraat Bank for a big hit right over the top of the net. Unstoppable stuff. Black range, pure power. Anton Bremer. Bremer in his 3rd season at the club, winning back-to-back Bundesliga titles. Berlin's top-scoring middle blocker in this competition. He averages 7.5 points a match. Been shot. It's one of the better servers in the competition. Not able to find his range just yet. Well received for Berlin. And returned with interest. Some French firepower from Timothée Karl. Past the triple block. Karl also in his 3rd straight season in Berlin with a pair of championships. Also previously won a pair of league titles in his native France. A challenging process. Clearly the ball is buried on the line. So Berlin, a slight edge in the early exchanges. Bremer remains on serve. Really had to be dug out and hung high. Plenty of time for the block to form. Berlin can transition this rally. high up off the block. Blockers telegraphing that one well, both sides. Brilliant play on defense from Ziraat Bank. That front line of defense really working in tandem, shuffling side to side, anticipating attacks. No way through whatsoever. Final decisive play coming from Martin Atanasov, who actually spent the 2017-18 campaign in Germany with Berlin's big rivals, Friedrichshafen. Was able to win the German Cup and finished as a runner-up in the league to Berlin. This German team has won 6 straight domestic titles. Very much in the ascendancy as a club. Back set towards the near side and a big gap that was very well exploited by Walter Termat on his return to Berlin. Termat to serve. 10 aces in the competition this season. Won't add to that tally just yet. He's the best server as well as the best scorer for Ziraat Bank. 0.4 aces per set. Plenty of power down the pipe. He's still got it. Osmani Juan Torreina, the 37-year-old, can soar and exploit the gaps. A 3-time MVP of this competition, en route to 3 championships. ANKARA not yet able to get it together on serve. Atanasov into the net that time. Tandem attack coming in far side. Once again, it's Juan Torreina. You have to, of course, admire the quality and the concentration, but his experience will be absolutely vital in such a big make or break matchup and in such difficult circumstances as well. Back-to-back points for Ziraat Bank to get themselves a lead here. Defense sent sprawling. Miscued shot. Serve letting down the team from Turkey. Oh, serving up a facial, Walter Termat. The back set, big seam in the block. Termat to take full advantage. There's the other 37-year-old veteran on serve, not for long. She's serve. That one buried underneath the body of Atanasov. Too long, no touch. The early signs suggest that this one could go a long way into the night. Pantorena to serve. Even at the age of 35 a couple of seasons ago, he was the MVP of the Italian league and the best outside hitter. He's a new signing for ANKARA this season. Started the campaign in China after he'd had a long spell in Italy with Lube, where he won his third Champions League crown after two previously with Trentino. What a big block for Berlin, far side. Fans on their feet, flags waving here in the German capital. Isolated, but coming out on top. Marek Schottler. Tosson to serve. Ziraat Bank. Okay, not for long. These two trading blows right now. Benny or Sasho Stalekar blazing it past Benny Ramburbul. Well, blockers got into a good position for Berlin pretty swiftly. Ziraat Bank still able to find a way through. Such was the pace of the attack and the precision from Walter Termans. Three-meter line here. Well repelled for now. It's going to come right back. They reload, and this time they fire and hit the target. Tandem attack, a gap down the line. Termans beaten in the backcourt. So Berlin back ahead. Cole's serve, too much on it. Haven't yet had a 2-point gap at any point as we approach the halfway point of this first set. Cole deflecting the ball up, passed off the far side into the triple block. It didn't quite penetrate enough. Three blockers tucked tight, no seams, but enough power. Not enough penetration by the defense. Couldn't quite get the deflection they were looking for. Actually penetrated quite well. Just didn't get the connection they wanted. And now, is this the moment that the home team start to pull towards the first set? A swipe and a miss from Bulbul. The first 2-point lead goes to the team from here in the German capital. Stalekar serve. It's a long set. It's an even longer hit via a deflection way into the fans beyond the baseline. The point good for Ziraat Bank. Somebody's got to go fetch that one. My mistake, they called the point for Berlin. I beg your pardon, no touch. to a 3-point lead.
But now we need to side out. If we have an eye ball, just try to be stay calm and try to be deep or hit and get back, guys, okay? Keep going, we have possibility. Move.
(15-12) the lead for Berlin in the first set of this one-off knockout playoff matchup to reach the quarterfinals of the CEV Champions League. And that's what they wanted off the back of the timeout. Ziraat Bank ANKARA. They stopped the rock. Blockers well positioned near side. Shutting down shot. Oh, the quarterback sneak from Arslan Ekşi, the ultimate veteran. The deceiver. So back-to-back points off the back of the timeout for the Turkish team. That run doesn't last much longer. Anton Bremer with a big blow. Best spiker back at the under 20 Euros in 2018, now 23 years of age, the German. Wow, what a hit from Walter Termat. Ziraat Bank determined to hang in the fight in this first set. Back within one again. Long off the top of the block. Recovered on the baseline. There's the set right on top of the net. Dug out though. Tremendous defense from Karl. Turning defense into points. What a save down on the deck. The quick reactions of the Frenchman. How did he dig that one out? His teammate pointing in appreciation after the point. What a big point it could be for Berlin. A little bit of breathing room again for the home team. It's a long set, but snuck inside of the net and the blockers. For a man who so often finds a way to finish. The outside of the body of Schottler from Termat. Two of the top scorers in this competition coming face to face. Karl getting plenty of power after the good defensive work from his teammates, and Karl there on block as well. Another fantastic point for Berlin when they seemed second favourites. Karl once more coming to the fore. It was Karl's dig the previous time they were rocked against the ropes that turned the tide in transition, and he's done it again, the Frenchman. Series of huge plays from the 27-year-old Timotei Karl. Now, Anton Bremer lifting hopes inside this arena. Berlin tie the largest lead at 3. Timeout, Ziraat Bank.
fight it as fast as possible and strong, guys. Second, we have 2 chances for the transition, but we are so hurry up, guys. Stay calm and try to find the best solution, guys, okay? Now think about side out, guys. Against this guy, no movement, receive high and find the solution in attack, guys, okay? Let's go, let's go.
Cedric Inar's team ahead by 3 again. A significant point of the first set. They're the team that have the support, they're the team that have the momentum. They have their big server on the baseline. And there's the big response as the Turks look to turn it around off the back of the timeout again. Terena. How hard can he keep swinging through the course of the evening, you wonder? Marek Schottler saying, I'm the new scoring prodigy. 23-year-old responding to the point from the 37-year-old. Hot potato with the serve. The blocker there, out the centre though. What a big play from Bulbul. Another 23-year-old talent saying, don't forget about me. It's not all about offense. How about this bit of defense? He's the 9th highest scoring middle blocker in the competition. Fediran Bulbul, 51 points coming into this match. 8.5 a game. Berlin 5 away from taking the first set. Well, scratch one of those off. 4 points away. Tough break for Termat. He won the Bundesliga title here with Berlin in 2017. He also played in their last single knockout game when they lost the Champions League semi-final in straight sets to Zenit Kazan in that year. Oh, huge! The play and the atmosphere. They sense it. The finish line to the first set in sight. Sasho Stalika. They're going to chase that one out to the gym. 3 players racing to the corner. Too much power on it. Not too much hope for Ziraat Bank though. Berlin just 3 points away from the first set. Cedric Inar not counting on anything just yet. Very close to the baseline, but just beyond it. Sure it was, despite the puzzled look. Comes Antti Ronkainen. Finn on serve to try and finish the first set. Blockers give him plenty of time to get across there after the long pass. Drill back though. If at first you don't succeed, try again. He's having a big say in terms of his influence in play and his leadership. Osmani Juantarena not backing down. Bediran Bulbul to serve. Ziraat Bank trail by 3, first set. Push right on top of the net, where Bremer was waiting, and he's been so efficient. 4 set points. Bremer getting the better of Tossen. What a hit that was from the top scorer in this match, Walter Termat, taking one of those set points away. 7 points for him now, 3 more than anyone else. His team still trail by 3 though. Ekshi with the serve. Too long. Over the top of the block, no touch. Although Cedric Inar is going to call for the officials to have a look. So often the first time viewing is deceptive. It didn't look to me as if there was a touch. Cedric Inar closer to the action than I am. Using the break to communicate a message to his team as well. Oh, there is a drift of the finger, a flick of the finger. It was ever so close. The image is just flickering. The point is wins with Ziraat Bank, so they're halfway there in terms of getting rid of those set points for Berlin. Will it be third time lucky for the German champions? Kept alive tremendously by the Turks. They've sent their hosts sprawling. This is the rally of the match so far. Can they finish the first set? No. Marek Schottler off the mark. 3 straight points for Ziraat Bank. The Turks in deep, deep trouble. Schottler, the top scorer for Berlin, couldn't find a piece of the floor.
Tony, what we need on this rotation, we need, if we bring the reception to the net, we need a good tempo. Okay, because 5 will be good. K1 we can play over, no problem. On K7 they adjust a lot on you, so team has space to go more to 6-5 then. Okay, so reception, tempo, good tempo and replay, no problem. All options. Allez, hop.
Cedric Inar needing to intervene to try and get Berlin over the line. These fans feeling they need to intervene as well. We're up by 4 points, 24-20, within touching distance of the first set. Ziraat Bank looking to bring it back from the brink. Here's the big hit off the blockers. Far side, didn't land. An open goal of a hit blown. And so too now has been a 4-point lead. The first set was there to be grabbed. Instead, grabbing the net in frustration. Wow, 24-24. Not many in this arena felt it wasn't going to be over pretty swiftly. And that's good as well. A remarkable recovery from Ziraat Bank. From 4 down, saving 4 set points to now being ahead. Berlin's lead blown to bits.
Yeah, just clear eyes. What guys? We know if we have the reception and good tempo with middle, all options. You saw how they adjust on this game 7. You have a lot of space. A lot of space. Allez, let's go. Let's go.
Well, these fans can't quite believe what they've just seen over the last few minutes. Look at that run. 5 straight points for Ziraat Bank, who very rarely failed to put consecutive points together through the course of the set. Now they have a set point. This remarkable run on serve. Blockers in position, pancaked up off the deck, hit back. Trading blows, trying to stay on their feet. Berlin rocked against the ropes. Ekshi's set, and that leads to the final score. In such a difficult position, on such a difficult night, Ziraat Bank come from 4 set points down to win the first set on the road in Berlin. That is, of course, unless there's a kind break for Cedric Enar's team. He will feel they have thrown this away. They were riding a big wave of momentum. They were hoping for a foot fault. They don't find one. And it's Ziraat Bank, quite remarkably, who win the first set of this one-off knockout game to reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and they do it having trailed 24-20. They come out on top with 6 straight points. Arslan Ekshi, the old mastermind, Atanasov with the exclamation mark on the run. 24-26 the score at the end of the first set. It lasted 31 minutes. And now Berlin have to come from behind on home court. They've had the only couple of aces in the game. Ziraat Bank's attacking excellent down that final stretch in particular. Just a run that nobody saw coming. What a response we've just seen from Mustafa Kavaz's team. Ziraat Bank win the first set, and this playoff tie en route to the quarterfinals of the Champions League to stun these fans. Berlin were on a roll, up 24-20, 4 set points, all of them evaporating. And their players look deflated already, just like this atmosphere. Walter Termat on his return to his former team, playing a crucial role for the men from Ankara. Termat with a game-high 7 points in that first set. And the 2 veterans for the Turkish team really stepping up as well. Osmani Quantarena, the second top scorer, with 6 points. And Arslan Ekşi, the mastermind of the offense, as the setter. Can Berlin bounce back at the start of set 2? Such a different atmosphere in this arena now. Ziraat Bank taking full advantage. They have the bit between their teeth right now. A powerful hit from Tosun to start the scoring in set 2. Bediran Bulbul to serve. That will lift the mood a little for the home team. They need to shake off that huge disappointment from the end of the first set, put it behind them and just continue to bring what they can. Restart their motors, reset their computers, regroup, retaliate. Back-to-back points will help there. Nice set from Karl. Ruben shot with the score. Remember, he had the chance to win it. They blew that huge opportunity on one of those set points. Wide open on the far side of the net. Quantarena is rolling back the years. One of the best there's ever been. He'll remain on serve, will he? No, he won't. Just the wrong side of the net, as far as Ziraat Bank are concerned. And shot again, stepping up. Berlin again ahead. They went for the touch of finesse rather than the physicality. A chance to reload and to come again. This time it's power. Repelled off the baseline. Offense reorganized. And a touch off the side of the blocker. They're not too sure. They are going to challenge it, Ziraat Bank. In fact, the point has gone down as a Turkish point, so it's Berlin who are challenging. My first instinct was that it had caught a piece of the defender. Cedric Enoch, his players feeling the same. There is a block touch. The point will be overturned. So their team ahead 4-2. to serve again. Part of the Berlin side that won the CEV Cup back in 2016. Ruben shot, fantastic serve. Better defense though. Transitioned into points from guess who? That man again, Juan Torreina. Set so delicately by Ekşi as well, the two 37-year-olds combining. Wow, what a hit. Everything behind it from Atanasov. Really good reception from the libero, Bayraktar. So ANKARA back level at 4-4. Juan Torreina to serve. Joint top scorer with his teammate Termat in this match now. Bremer's been very good for Berlin. He's their top scorer with 7 points as well. He ties level with Termat and Juan Torreina, who he takes off serve. Now his turn to serve. Ekşi's set to the far side, tipped by the block, good. Little gap again for the home team, and a set they will feel they have to win. Oh, it's a perfect serve in terms of power and placement from Anton Bremer. His brilliant performance continues. The top scorer now in this match outright with 8 points. Juan Torreina, one of the joint top scorers for Ziraat Bank, trying to rally the troops. I'll be happy to see the back of Bremer. He's already over his average for scoring in this competition with 8 points. And we're only at the start of the second set. He's been averaging 7.5 points a match. Burakan Tosun to serve, 25-year-old Turkish middle blocker. And to serve ever so well indeed. Get another go. Man named as one of the best middle blockers in last season's Turkish Cup. Schottler. No transition into offense. Back and forth this rally goes. Placement bringing the points from another player who's bringing his best. Timotei Karl. A beautiful finish over the top of the triple block into the bare patch of the backcourt. Long recovery. Tandem attack, far side. Isolated blocker wins. Wouter Termat. What a play on defense from their top scorer this season. Slamming the door in the face of Karl. Termat serve. Block blockers, given plenty of time to get into position. Berlin knocks back to their baseline. And Ziraat Bank are back level at 8 points in set 2. Ekshi running the show, Juan Terena taking full advantage of that relationship with his fellow veteran. Termat saved it far side. The point could go either way. There's a discussion to be had, there's a challenge to be made. Originally awarded in favour of Berlin. Ziraat Bank, in particular, head coach Mustafa Kavaz, not convinced. There is a net touch, isn't there? Stalikar, number 12 for Berlin. The point is indeed Ziraat Bank's. And with it, having trailed by a couple of points on several occasions in this second set, they now have the lead. Cedric Enar feeling rather flustered. To Termat to serve. After the disappointment of a challenge going against you, that's the last thing you want to see if you're Berlin. All the way through, just beyond the baseline from Termat. That year he was playing for Berlin in this competition after losing the semi-final to Zenit Kazan. They lost the bronze medal game to Lubei. They have won a bronze medal at this competition. Berlin, though, that was their second Final Four. There's going to be another challenge here. They lost the bronze medal game that season that Walter Termat was here in Berlin in 2017, but they won the bronze medal 2 years earlier on their first Final Four appearance in 2015. Yet to get to the super finals. That, of course, the aim for all clubs this season. Challengers looking for a net touch. The evidence says there's not one, and this time it's the break for Berlin. They'll try and build off. Timote Karl to serve. To serve too long. The 10th top scoring outside spiker in the competition this season. 13.8 points a match. Actually one of the best servers in the competition as well. 11 aces through the pool stage. 0.5 aces per set. Tanasov to serve for Ankara. To bounce off the hands of Bulbul. It's another touch, tight set. It's going to get very nervy indeed the closer we get to the finish. Berlin can ill afford going down 2 sets to love. There's that combination again, 37-year-old to 37-year-old. Looking as good as they've ever been. Ekshi and Juan Terena. Speaking of good, that man again, Anton Bremer. 9 points for him now. He's up there with the top scorers in this match. The 23-year-old middle blocker taking on a big role. Ziraat back trading blows. You feel if they can keep it close towards the end of this second set, the circumstances would be in their favor, because the jangling nerves would come predominantly from the 5,000 inside this arena. It's a fault on Ekshi, who's going to complain, and he has to keep his cool. This is a setter who's won 7 Turkish championships, including the 2 seasons he's been with Ziraat, winning the league MVP award in both campaigns. At the ages of 36 and 37, also named the competition MVP as Turkey won the Golden League in 2019. He's been named the best setter 6 times in the Turkish league. A yellow card has been shown in the aftermath of those complaints. Well, he's as experienced as they come. He knows that the protests have to end before the punishments become too severe. He's clearly riled by the call that went against him. Joust at the net. Bremer. Right place, right time, making himself as big as possible. Got a quick hand to it. He showed his reactions, then he showed his timing and his blocking ability. He's having quite a night already. Carl's hit against the block. Ziraat back level again. Carl denied by Tosun. Tosun to serve. Carl to receive. Schottler shut down. Marek Schottler has really struggled to have a say so far. Has been a key component to Ziraat Bank putting Berlin in trouble. Tarasov denying Berlin's top scorer this season. Team from ANKARA ahead. Level again, 15-15. Marek Schottler averages 20.8 points a match in this competition this season. The team high 16 points in the last pool stage match. Carl. Here comes Schottler. That'll give him and his team a big spark, perhaps, to push down the final stretch of the second set. He felt like they needed something from their main man. Can Schottler now go on a scoring spurt? Yes, he can! Right on cue. The ace in Berlin's pack. And that one forces a timeout from Ziraat Bank.
But in easy situation, try to give the ball to the center a little bit higher, guys. Now, you can turn to once, and first of all, this is ball after thinking about attack, guys, okay? Fine, keep going, keep going.
And they've got 3 in a row now to come from behind to lead. Bremer's been brilliant in keeping them in the fight. Now Schottler, their biggest weapon, starting to fire. He has his run on serve come to an end. Ziraat Bank half the deficit. Really good reception that time. Juan Terena behind the serve of Schottler. Here he comes again. Juan Terena ending up on the bench as he saved it. Schottler showing no sympathy. In fact, I beg your pardon, it's Stalikar that time. Right in front of Schottler, who'd rotated to the backcourt. Those two looking pretty similar these days. Perfect placement, Atanasov. Doing their best to make it that nervy finish we talked about. Down the side of the triple block, into the corner. The only bare patch of the floor. The Bulgarian to serve now. Well, it's a piece of magic again from Arslan Ekşi. Tremendous court awareness. Sees the full picture all the time. Bulbul to serve. Ziraat Bank trail by 1. The quick swipe from Bremer, the top scorer. In double figures already, Anton Bremer. Hit from the backcourt, saved by Carl. Too much on it. Was there a touch? No, there wasn't. Schottler miscues again. Put off by the 2 blockers. Not yet at his best tonight, Marek Schottler. There's still time. Ruben Schott, the other bleached blonde haired weapon for Berlin. Shot to serve. And to serve ever so well. The shot that ricocheted around the arena. Berlin by 3, just 3 points away, but they've been here before.
After timeout, be ready for short serve, guys, okay? First, think about the receive, guys, put each other perfectly. And then we can think about serve. But this serve can drop short against number 13, so we have to be ready to move front and try to be a little bit aggressive.
Can Ziraat Bank do it again? Can they overturn against the odds, against the atmosphere? A sizable deficit at the end of a set. Or can the hosts here in the German capital tie this playoff match? A chance to extend the lead here. All the way through. Taking no prisoners and taking off heads. Unstoppable through the last line of defense with the touch. Athanasov, the Bulgarian battering ram. The point that Ziraat Bank wanted off the back of the timeout. Bremer denied this time. But on defense, doing it instead. And Tom Bremer's offense shut down. He says, don't worry. In fact, it was Carl in front of him who said, don't worry, I've got you covered. Three-point lead restored. Just 2 more needed. Bremer, the serve knocking them back. But Ziraat Bank now in a better position than they were at the end of the first set, but they still went on to win. If you're joining us late, Berlin had a 24-20 lead in the first set before 6 straight points from Ziraat Bank to win it. They show that lightning can strike twice. Tossen to serve. Little to no room for error. Schottler shut down again. Carl keeps it alive. His turn to attack. And he got it to stick. Great play.
Mr. Now we have seen two wonderful sets. What makes you optimistic for the set number 3, 4, and maybe 5?
I think our level on service is growing. We are improving. We missed the end of the first set. It was a big, like a shock for the team to start the second one, but we managed pretty well. Service is good. Block, we are doing okay. We can be a little bit more efficient on the wings. That's the point. But yeah, first of all, the basic service and reception. This is the way we need to play.
Thank you very much.
Und ich würde euch einmal bitten, im Fanblock beginnen, mal so eine ganz langsame, kleine, entspannte Welle zu starten, die dann über die Stirnseite, den Ehrengasbereich, die Ostseite in Richtung Südseite geht und wieder zurückkommt. Könnt ihr im Fanblock einmal so nett sein, die Ausgangsposition einnehmen? Und zwar ganz langsam, ganz langsam die Arme nach oben nehmen. Der Oberring macht natürlich mit. 3, 2.
We are set for a pivotal third set here.
Mr. Gavas, you won the first set, you lost the second. Looking forward, what does your team to do to win set 3 and 4?
In the second set, they are playing better transition because they touch a lot of balls in the defense and they play very good counter-attack. So we have to fix this. And second thing is we have some mistakes in the reception. If we fix this, and then we can turn back to the game. But this is our expectation, you know, this game will be for sure like that.
Second question, what are you telling your team in preparation for the next set?
Just we have to hit a little bit more harder, and the reception we have to be organized much more better than the previous set, because first set we were okay, but now we have to be a little bit better than the second set in the reception, communication and positions. That's it.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
His team did superbly, almost miraculously, to save that first set. Got themselves ahead on the road in these difficult circumstances against this difficult team in this difficult atmosphere. But Berlin answered back with a big second set. Now we are neck and neck. And the Germans here in the capital will hope to carry that momentum like a wave, like the wave that's going around this arena right now, into a crucial, pivotal third set. Of course, whoever loses the next one will have to win back-to-back sets to remain in the competition. Top scorer so far over the first 2 sets, the Berlin middle blocker Anton Bremer with 11 points. Leading the way for the away team, Osmani Juan Terreno rolling back the years, the 37-year-old with 9 points for Ziraat Bank. In the absence of a star performance so far from top scorer Marek Schottler, it's Timotej Karl who's offered the extra firepower for Berlin. He's got 8 points as the third top scorer in this match. Berlin losing a 24-20 lead in the first set to lose it 24-26 on 6 straight points for Ziraat Bank, but then recovering also after a slow start to the second to pull away down the final stretch and win the last set 25-21. So now effectively it becomes a best of 3 sets, one-off matchup for a place in the quarter-final lineup of the 2022-23 CEV Champions League Volley. Chance for players to regroup, the coaches to relay messages, fans maybe to get some refreshments. Satoshi Suiki coming in at libero for Berlin. He moved moved from Japan to Germany with Frankfurt 3 seasons ago, and then moved here to Berlin last season. After winning this season rather, after winning last season's Bundesliga Best Receiver Award. To Termat's hit. Stopped. Response. It doesn't find a way through from Ruben Schott. His opposite number. Stretching in front of him. The point on defense for Tossen. First point of this crucial third set goes the way of Ziraat Bank. Now they had a super run on serve from Arslan Ekşi earlier on in the match. No run this time for the setter on serve. She actually played for Berlin's big rivals Friedrichshafen back in the 2015-16 season when they finished as runners-up to Berlin in the German league. Its third season in Ankara. Terena, 9 points in the match. Power Pal, Anton Bremers, 12 points in the match. One team's top scorer taking the other team's top scorer off serve. Bremer is cooking up something brilliant. Tandem attack getting the job done for Ziraat Bank. Ekşi using Tossen as a decoy. The serve has slipped all the way through. And it's a tough break for Berlin. Karl, who's been excellent through the course of the match, not getting the reception right. So Ziraat Bank by 2. Tossen remains on serve. Pure power over the top from Stalekar. New to the club this season, the 26-year-old Slovenian won the Greek double with Panathinaikos last season. 2-time silver medalist at the Euros with Slovenia in 2019 and then more recently in 2021. Schottler still hasn't quite set his radar right. Rate of 0.59 aces per set, one of the highest in the competition. Karl over the block. Well, they're going to look for a block touch. A challenge from Cedric Inar. And if he's not successful with it, well, for the first time in one of the sets of this match, a team would pull away for an early bit of breathing room. Berlin, as of yet, haven't been able to carry that momentum from winning the second into the third. There's an anxious wait. Bit of nail biting for Cedric Inar right now. it just a miscue from Carl, or did it get a touch? They're looking for the net touch, and they don't find one. It was over the block, it was beyond the baseline, it was high and long, and Ziraat Bank lead by 3. To Termat to serve. Out of bounds off the net. And he moved to Turkey in 2018 with Fenerbahce. Joined Ziraat Bank 2 years later. Dead even on service errors so far in this match. Two players almost colliding on Berlin's side of the floor, but they get the ball over. Here's Termat. Stopped by the block, it'll come back. Termat reloads, had to be helped over on the final touch though. Tandem attack from the backcourt. Carl stopped, but out of bounds it goes. So Berlin looking to dig deep again and show their powers of recovery. Three down, they've closed the gap to 1. Carl calculates it beautifully. Perfectly. Delightfully. As crafted by Carl. Three straight points, Berlin back level. Down the center this time from Carl. And he keeps it up in the backcourt as well. Juan Terrain are doing the same. Back over the net. They'll keep on coming. Can they blaze away through the defense? Yes, they can. Ruben shot, knocking Atanasov down. 4 straight for Berlin. The latest of which will be challenged. Challenge coming from Mustafa Kavaz. No net touch. Bit of anxiety around this arena. You can expect the full range of emotions on a night like this. Timotei Carl to serve. Berlin ahead on that run of, level rather, on that run of 3 straight points. Replayed after they didn't find the net touch. Tanasov into the net. 7-7. So nothing to separate these two through 2 sets and through 14 points of the third. Carl has become the first Berlin player to hit double figures. He's now got 10 points to lead them. Bremer has 12, rather, for Berlin as well. And Tanasov now leads the way for the away team with 9. Bremer is putting together some nights. Bruising shins with that one, bringing this arena really to life. Bremer again. 14 points for him. Offense, defense, everything. The big man having the big game, playing with a big heart. Well, even Ekşi's magic has dried up. We've seen 2 of those delicate touches from him lead to points. Not that time. A head scratcher for the setter, and this is a head scratcher now for Ankara, down 3.
For our jump service, feel comfortable, guy. When you are coming to the line, you don't feel comfortable. Try to go high and hit, guys. Don't try to be 50-50. No, go full. Second, when the service is easy, try to be more perfect, guys. Don't think attack. First reception and then think about attack, guys. And if you understand, push, guys. Aç şu ellerini oraya vurabilirsin.
There is that run. 4 in a row for Berlin. And they now have real momentum. Such an important point of this matchup. And they're going to ride that wave of momentum right now. Stalekar has been excellent. The defense making bad decisions on reception. They all left it for each other. They all left it hoping it was going long. Berlin with a +6 advantage in service points. Even Walter Termat's full power stopped. He'll reload, replenish, and get denied again. Ruben shot with the shutdown. The run goes on and on and on. And so too does that serve all the way into the front row. What a spark on serve. Stalekar to put Berlin in the driver's seat of this third set. That got a touch on its way through. So it's trailing by 5. Back-to-back points to bring a bit of optimism back for Ziraat Bank. Berlin trailed 6-7 before that run. put together 6 straight points. Just, of course, making sure that the playing surface is safe for the competitors. Even the greener area around the court, players running all over the place, chasing every ball, has to be safe. Just a reminder, if you're new to this sport or not quite up to date with the latest news, rather than being a 2-legged playoff tie for a place in the quarterfinals, it's just the one match between these two. The first leg cancelled last week in the Turkish capital of Ankara due to the tragic events that unfolded. This one tonight in Berlin, the German capital, is for all the marbles. Ziraat Bank produced a remarkable recovery in the first set to come from 4 set points down to win it. Berlin bounced back in the second, and now they're going from strength to strength here in the third. Not if Ziraat Bank can help it. Ekşi to serve. Reception perfectly back on top of the net. Well, they had a great position, but Juan Terena was having none of it. Not biting on the bait as he tracked the back set. That one got a touch off the blocker. The point good for Schottler. Can he rediscover his mojo? He's had a lot of help from his teammates so far tonight. On to Termat. Getting Ziraat Bank within 2. Just trying to cling on to Berlin in this important third set. Juan Terena with the serve. Long off the block, too long. Beyond the baseline, Schottler there again. Starting to pick up steam now. Tandem attack off the block, kept alive in the backcourt. Defense has to really brace itself here. Carl got a touch, so too Schottler far side. Carl's turned to fire, found a way past the triple block. Back and forth it goes. Great defense and offense. Schottler! His time to shine. 3 in quick succession for Marek Schottler. We expected a run at some point from him. It is coming. Timeout call by Ziraat Bank.
We will play. It will be long, guys. But now they try to come so short stuff, so we have to be ready. And on the ball, so guys, they come and try to play point by point, guys. Okay? Don't even go again, guys. Nice. Nice.
It's taken him until beyond the midway point of the third set, but Marek Schottler has shot up to double digits. 3 of them coming in a flash to help Berlin pull 4 clear in this pivotal third set. Carl keeps it up and goes for the shot against the triple block, out of bounds. So Berlin by 5. All popped up here. The team from the German capital, and surely no way back for Ziraat Bank here in the third. Even a smile on Cedric Enar's face. Bremer's serve against the net. The top scorer in this match on 14 points. There's a group of players on 10 now. Pantarena for the away team, Carl and Schottler for Berlin. It feels like a matter of time. It feels like Marek Schottler has found his groove. And that is an ominous thought for Ziraat Bank ANKARA. They really dealt with that serve well and found a way past Stalikar at the net. That's gone. Berlin are maintaining their breathing room. Up by 5, only 6 points away. Carl close to the baseline, but just beyond it. Atanasov. Serve for ANKARA. Long off the block. Good for shot. They've got a really well-balanced approach on the offensive end now, Berlin. That was always the danger for Ziraat Bank, with Bremer and Carl producing big scores early on. You knew that Schottler would show up to the party at some stage. And Schott has chipped in with important points as well. Carl saving it baseline. Has to go long all the way to the top. Joust. It's fallen kindly for Berlin though. And Ruben's shot will take full advantage again. Give Carl credit for keeping it alive. Turkey's set tandem attack high off the block. They won't get to it by the scorer's table. Understandably, a few heads hanging on the Turkish team in this third set. They need to go on an almighty run down the final stretch to avoid the prospect of having to win back-to-back sets to keep themselves in the tournament. Carl looking to bury it back court. Stopped. And the defense of Ziraat Bank stepping up, building the platform from which Juan Torreira could launch the offense. A perfect cross-court pass from Ekşi. Two legends combining to deadly effect. Defense there again, near side double block, but out of bounds. Ekşi's jammed his finger. So it goes from bad to worse for Ziraat Bank. Their star setter suffering. That is real cause for concern for the team from Turkey. A man who was named best setter in last season's Champions League. He's only been getting better and better into and beyond his mid-30s. Show of appreciation from these fans here in Berlin tonight. She remains in the game. How much of his playmaking has been hampered? He gets a touch to that one. Shot saving it. Back it comes to the baseline. Atanasov overhead. Tenmat with the backcourt hit, off balance, and then a miscue. And Ziraat Bank's ability just to stay in the rally got them the point. To do more than just stay in rallies, they've got to go on a run. Down 4, Berlin only 3 away from taking back-to-back sets, leaving Ziraat Bank having to do the same. Schottler couldn't find a way through, stopped far side. Termat stopped as well. Carl down the pipe. Timotei Carl with the takeoff. The perfect connection and the point. $13 for him in this match, only 1 behind Bremer as the top scorer. Shot to serve. Oh, Ekşi did so well to stretch and to save it. And Tosun finished it. Ekşi really had to stretch to get there first ahead of the bigger Bremer. He was looking to reach over. Juan Torreira. Can he produce the run they so badly need? No, he can't. A heads-off finish from Marek Schottler, who's finally shown up to the party. His arrival here in the third set, the boost that Berlin needed. They gave away 4 set points to lose the first set. Surely they can't throw away 5 set points here in the third. there's one gone. There's life left in the lungs of Ziraat Bank here in this pivotal set. Cody Kessel in and out. From Terena, a very animated discussion with his head coach. Toss on to serve, absolutely no room for error in this third set. Carl coming in, conjures up another, and Berlin have won back-to-back sets and now have one hand on the win and a place in the quarter-final. Having shot themselves in the foot in the first set, they bounce back to win 2 in a row. And Carl has been key, along with Schottler and Bremer. After losing the first 24-26, they win the second 25-21 and the third 25-20. They're now one set away from a place in the final 8 of the CEV Champions League. Look at the numbers from set 3, level on aces, but a big disparity in winner attacks, a +10 for Berlin. And that is because Schottler showed up. Carl has been consistent and crucial. Bremer has been big. And Berlin are one set away. So now it's the team from Turkey who have it all to do. 13 days since they last played. Got to try and go the distance in this one. Otherwise it's an end to the line in their pursuit of place in the latter stages of the Champions League. Ziraat Bank now need to win 2 straight sets. That ceiling score at the end of the third, Timotej Karl ties level with his teammate Anton Bremer on 14 points. The leading scorers in this match, but Marek Schottler has shot up to 12. After a disappointing first 2 sets, he was the added firepower needed for Berlin in the third. Also seeing Ziraat Bank's 9-match winning streak now dangling by a thread. 9 matches without defeat in all competitions. And Marek Schottler makes it a little more of a thinner thread by which they dangle as he lands the first blow of what is a must-win 4th for the Turkish team. Well, Berlin are only getting better. Johannes Tiller with the take-it-all serve. And another, this time dealt with. Static hit, Schottler off balance. Carl pushes it far side. Berlin keep on coming. Schottler there. It looks as though Ziraat Bank are out of steam. Running on empty. And in complete contrast, Berlin only getting stronger. Carl beaten backcourt by the snapshot. She's snap set, leading to the quick hit. When Marek Schottler is playing to the best of his abilities, this almost looks one-sided. A 4-point lead in the 4th. And a timeout call by Mustafa Kavaz on the Ankara bench. They need yet another remarkable recovery in this playoff.
When we stop, change our face, or we continue, guys. We have to continue to fight, guys. Don't stop. But in reception, first of all, if the serve is very strong, try to receive like explosive, guys, like defense. And in high ball, stay calm and hit and take back and play transition again, guys, okay? Not be nervous. Stay calm and point by point. Point by point. It's beginning of the set.
Turkish fans from the Turkish community here in the German capital getting a break from it all. The distraction of going out for an evening's entertainment, supporting their team who've arrived from their country. Just for a couple of hours. A few people who can at least forget about the terrible situation in their country, get lost in a bit of sports. Can Ziraat Bank lengthen the evening? Schottler behind it again, but out of bounds. Juan Terena back-to-back points for Ziraat Bank. After that timeout, they've closed the gap from 4-2. The run doesn't last too long. Suzuki with the reception and then the celebration after his teammates finished it off. Bramer with the big power. Shank serve reception might have gone out of bounds, but Schottler will surely finish it. No. He comes back out, takes another swipe. Marek Schottler has shot to the top of the scorers chart. Laying dormant for so long in this match, he has erupted. Berlin by 4 again. Bramer into the net and then to the bench. Bulbul into serve. Lead very swiftly back to 4. Stalekar stepping up in the front line. He's improved the longer the match has gone on as well. They're going to challenge. Cedric Enar communicating with his players on that far side of the court. They weren't convinced by this official's call. And luck. Well, they saw it in the arena first. The ball was in. The point belongs to Berlin. Marek Schottler continues to shine in the second half of this playoff match. Again, that was close. Very close indeed. He's wondering if that one caught a piece of the line as well. Oh, it slipped through the hands of Suzuki, the Japanese libero. Best receiver in the Bundesliga last season. Making a miscalculation. Arslan Ekşi, who's been named best setter 6 times in the Turkish league, miscalculates his serve. At a point where Ziraat Bank need to almost play a perfect game. Terrainer has slowed after his excellent start. Can the 37-year-old pick up the pace? Schottler. Where did it land? The point for Ziraat Bank by a fine margin. Schottler denied. Terrainer can serve again. A ricochet far side helped over. Ziraat Bank's turn to attack. That was off from Walter Termat. Well, Juan Terena and Termat were both excellent in the first set, and even going into the second set, they both faded in sets 3 and 4. Are Ziraat Bank's chances of a place in the quarterfinals of the CEV Champions League fading as well? That will give them a bit of encouragement. A serve into the net from Stalekar. Down 2, they have trailed by double in this fourth set, chipping away at the deficit. He'll go again. Well, after being denied by the double block, he then met the triple block, but still found a way against the numbers to come up with the score. Such an important one from Atanasov. So they're now back within 1. Schottler at full pace. Didn't deceive the defense, but that time Atanasov was off target. Brings an end to the run. They've got Ziraat Bank close. Tiller into the net, so they can try and complete the comeback here. Midway point of the fourth set. Ziraat Bank ahead with an excellent comeback in set 1. Berlin taking sets 2 and 3. Now have their noses in front in set 4. They want to finish the job here. Kramer with 16 points. Only Schottler has more. Shot to serve. Tandem attack, backcourt hit. Juan Terena still has plenty left in the tank. He even has to go and apologize because of the power in that one. Tiller almost decapitated. Atanasov to serve. Into the net, so the lead back to 2. Ziraat Bank getting close, but can't get back level just yet. Series of errors on serve for both teams. Mustafa Kavaz's team back within 1. And the 2-time reigning back-to-back Turkish champions recover. Juan Terena, not a run-up at that one. Plenty of time on the high-hanging pass for the triple block to form and put up a wall in front of one of ANKARA's main men. Schottler to the corner. Oh, what a hit that was from Juan Terena, answering back to the disappointment of the previous point. A three-time Champions League winner and MVP, five-time Club World Championship winner, and a silver medalist at both the 2016 Olympics and 2015 World Cup, as well as 7 domestic league titles. One of the all-time greats. Now, Ziraat Bank have closed the gap, enough so to force the timeout from Cedric Enoch on the Berlin bench. This playoff is far from finished. When it looked like Ziraat Bank were running on empty, they've dug deep to scrape the barrel and found something more.
This quality on service we need. Okay, allez, let's go, boys. Allez, play hard, play hard.
Home fans in the German capital trying to lift their team off the back of the timeout. A few hundred in here supporting Ziraat Bank from the Turkish capital. They're showing still got something left. Schottler getting the score, his 18th point. Juan Terena. The slice, found a slice of the floor, only a slither, although Cedric Enoch doesn't think so. He's challenging it. It would be another score for Juan Terena. I'm not sure he's sure. It did find that line, and Ziraat Bank, having trailed by a significant margin here in this fourth set, putting themselves in pole position. Carl's delicate touch, has to retreat now, look to withstand the hit, as Suiki did on the baseline. The joust at the net, kept alive for ANKARA. Far side, past the double block and in. Wouter Termat has woken up again. And that is cause for concern for the home team. He and Juan Terena had gone quiet for a while. Now they're both fit and firing once more. And Ziraat Bank leads once more. Juan Terena, the second top scorer in this match behind Schottler. Close to getting another. Recovered on the scorer's table by Tiller. It's good though, with that big 1-2 punch combination. If it's not Juan Terena, it's Wouter Termat. Juan Terena dislocating the defense. Termat to pick them apart and pick up the points. Trinidad comes in. 29-year-old Spanish setter. Carl right behind it. There is the set for Schottler. Against the block, out of bounds. Turkish celebrations. What a recovery we are witnessing again. Timeout, Sedvakina on the Berlin bench. This Turkish team doesn't know when to quit.
Keep strong mindset, guys. If service, let's put in the box. Okay, this kind of service, be aggressive, middle blocker. We need you good tempo once again. Okay, to build around that. They will be crazy around you, no problem. Okay, mindset, boys.
Let's go, boys.
Ziraat Bank trailed by 5 points at 9-4 earlier in this fourth set. It was a steady, progressive, bit by bit chip away at the deficit before now exploding on a 4-point unanswered run to take a 3-point lead. From 9-4 down to 16-19 ahead. Juan Terena recovers it baseline. Oh, excellent pushing over the net on the block, but not quite with the desired geometry for the home team. Arms angle down, but to the side and out of bounds it goes. And the lead is 4 for Ziraat Bank from 4 down. They produced the rapid last-ditch comeback to win the first set from 4 down. Now they produce the steady, grinding comeback, perhaps to win the fourth from 4 down and take it to a 1 set. Takes it all. Decisive 5th stanza. This place has gone quiet again. Can Berlin bring these fans back to life? Schottler the spark. Is it enough to spark a recovery though? Top scorer in this match now with 20 points. Stalikar to serve. Berlin to double the output of Ziraat Bank the rest of the way. And that particular mountain has got a little bit more steeper. A seam in the triple block, not a big one, but enough for Athanasov to find a way through. It's looking increasingly likely it is going to go to a 1st to 15 5th set to decide who moves to the quarterfinals. Wouter Termat from point-blank range. A big celebration from Bulbul. Termat to serve. Ankara 2 points away. Does it find the sideline? He thinks so. The official thinks so as well. Wouter Termat taking Ziraat Bank within touching distance of that fifth set. The challenge is in progress though. Termat went quiet for so long. He's come alive again. So too of Ziraat Bank. That's in. And there's a heap of set points for the Turkish team. They looked done and dusted, down by 5 earlier in this set, having lost the last 2. Clawed out to the air, still ongoing, not for long. Juan Terena taking out Carlen Berlin, and Ziraat Bank have bounced back now in this remarkable back and forth volleyball battle. Played in the midst of such unusual circumstances. The Turkish team have shown their spirit. And Juan Terena continues to show his remarkable talent. We're going to a first to 15, fifth set. Just a reminder, this is a matchup tonight in Berlin for a place in the quarterfinal. No first leg in this tie because of the events in Turkey last week. The second leg, if you can still call it that, is for everything. The winner of this one goes to the last 8. We're now level at 2 sets to 2. The fifth and final set, first to 15 for a place in the quarterfinals. This is where Berlin will hope their fans can play a big part and maybe be the decisive factor in the deciding set. But the finish to the fourth, quite concerning for the home team, losing it by 7 in the end, the quickest set of the match. After it looked like at the start of that set, Berlin with the team, with the energy, with the momentum, with the belief, certainly here with the support, up by 5 points at 9-4, having won 2 straight sets. You thought Ziraat Bank were done, and then came the steady recovery, hanging in the set, then chipping away at the 5-point deficit, and then with the finish line in sight, putting their foot on the gas and pulling away. They've taken this all the way, despite 20 points from Marek Schottler for Berlin. Osmani Juan Terena of ANKARA now up to 18 after the winner in that fourth set. And there to back him up once again is Termat. You have to think now each and every point won in this fifth set is a little more important than any points prior. A little more weight to each. Only first to 15 here in the fifth rather than first to 25. Berlin answer back with a big timely blow from Anton Bremer. The third top scorer in this match, up to 16 points. 1-1. Shot rocking them back against the baseline. Triple block with a bare backcourt. Sewn tightly together. Pushing and penetrating. Working in tandem, and Karl the final touch for the points. Two in a row for Berlin. Shot again with an excellent serve. Now a chance to really get on top in the rally with Schottler. Got it off the top of the block. 3 in a row for Berlin. Once more, Ziraat Bank have to find something deeper. It's off the mark, is it? No, it got a touch. Termat. Maybe worth another look. All the expressions tell you that was close. Tossen to serve. Karl receiving. Tiller set. Bremer colliding down on the Bremer back into the corner, saving it, then taking the attack. Atanatov from the backcourt. Juan Terrena still swinging. Berlin still breathing in this rally. Not anymore. Termat has taken on the responsibility to try and keep Ziraat Bank in this competition. Now he'll serve as well. Looking to get them level from 3 down. Karl jammed against the block. It deflects long. Suicki recovered it beyond the baseline. They have to dig their heels in on defense. Weren't able to repel that last attack. Ziraat Bank level. They have recovered again. Time and time again, when you think they're done, they rise to the challenge. Be it at the end of the first set, be it in the fourth when they'd lost 2 in a row and were down 5, and now here in the fifth, when they trailed early on, but they'll trail again. I think we've learned not to write them off. the aces as part of Schottler's 20-point haul so far. Dug out by Schott on the baseline. Schottler. Mantarena. The long set pushed over the top. Tandem attack, far side against the block. It'll go on. To the back corner, it's good for Berlin. Karl coming up with the goods again. Berlin by 2 as we approach the midway point of the decisive 5th set. A timeout called by ANKARA.
We are beginning of the set, one side and then move. We are going right.
It has been a marathon. How much of these players got left? Schottler off the mark with the serve. Each and every point so precious. Atanasov to serve. So tough to serve tired. Mantarena with the high hang off the top of the block from Termat. Now Berlin's turn to attack. Termat helps it up. They try and sneak it across, and he's short again, Arslan Ekşi. Well, he got 2 to go earlier on in the match. Maybe a sign of his tiredness. He's missed 2 in a row since. Berlin have a 2-point lead. Karl's serve. Mantarena against the block. He'll reload. Backs off. It goes the other wing. And it's good for the defense. Stalekar standing firm and standing tall. Going across court for that block. It hits the inside of the net. Neither of these clubs has ever won this competition. Both desperate to climb to the summit of European volleyball. And that ball might end up at the summit. He's still traveling. How on earth does he have this much power left? Timotei Karl. They have rebuilt their lead. Timeout, ANKARA. Just a reminder that all of the matches that are taking place today in the CEV competitions have been made free of charge on the YouTube channel European Volleyball, and every stream has a donate function allowing fans to contribute to the Save the Children International Foundation and their current campaign for assistance in Turkey. Well, thank you very much for your contributions in that regard. No fees taken from those donations whatsoever. Ziraat not giving up hope for Ziraat Bank here. They close the 4-point deficit to 3. Long off the block, it's good for the celebrating shot. Well, it's hard to see where a comeback is coming from, but boy, have we said that before. Never write his team off. Berlin 5 points away from a place in the quarterfinals. Two-time runners-up in this competition. Two-time Final Four team, I should say. Ziraat off target. Berlin are very nearly there. There's going to be a challenge to this point. Twice they've been to the Final Four, to the semi-finals. Once winning the bronze medal. It'll be a tough matchup for them in the quarterfinals, but their journey looks set to go on here in the 2020-23 campaign. Cedric Enor's team as it stands 5 points clear here in the 5th, unless this point is overturned. There is a block touch there. Ziraat Bank, ANKARA are showing throughout the course of this roller coaster ride of a matchup. You should never bet against them. They're showing it's not over until it's over. But they're going to have to double, more than double the tally of Berlin for the rest of this match. Down 4, the Germans here in Berlin, only 4 points away. This would have to be the biggest recovery of them all for the team from Turkey. Came from 4 down to win the first set. They came from losing back-to-back sets and 5 down to win the 4th to get themselves here to the 5th. Surely they're not going to come from 5 down late on in set 5. Johannes Tiller, the setter to serve. Juan Terena recovers. Ziraat doesn't get the answer he wants from the officials. Berlin can afford to smile. They know only a complete collapse now can prevent them from a place in the quarterfinals. Snap set, Ekşi. Point for Tossen. It's a small stitch in a wide open wound though. Carl down. To win 6 straight points to stay in this competition. Fans on their feet in the German capital. Quantarena behind it. Excellent finish through multiple lines of defense on the slice. But they need a whole lot more. Atanasov the score. Still 5 points in a row required, and now they have to protect their own serve to do so. That will leave a dent in the floor. Marek Schottler to seal it in the German capital for Berlin. They're through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. In this back and forth matchup in which Schottler had the slow start but finished as the top scorer with 22 points, including the one to kill it. Ziraat Bank's 9-game win streak in all competitions comes to an end. So too does their valiant display on the road here in Germany, as Berlin Recycling Volleys win it by 3 sets to 2, taking the decisive 5th set, 15-9. Look at the match statistics through the whole course of the evening. They have 4 extra points on ace, 4 more on winner attacks. The biggest attacker in the game in Schottler, who hardly showed up the first couple of sets but finished with 22. Osmani Quantarena leading Ziraat Bank with 18, ends up on the losing side. In front of over 5,000 here in this arena, who have been treated tonight to an excellent evening's entertainment to distract from the devastating events of the past week in Turkey. Volleyball offering an escape tonight, and the Turkish team offering some excellent entertainment, quality and character, but it's Berlin who come through and take the match 3-2 to take a place in the quarterfinals. The winners of the last 6 German league titles are going to go on in European volleyball's premier competition. What a night for Bremer, who finished with 16 points. The second top scorer for the home team behind Marek Schottler. He was huge in keeping Berlin very much in the game until Schottler arrived on the scene to steal the spotlight. And it's a good response in front of these fans for a team that have had their struggles over the past month or so. Lost a couple of domestic games, having only lost 1 before that all season. They lost in straight sets in the Bundesliga on Saturday. They bounce back here in the Champions League tonight. And they have earned their right to celebrate, having let a sizable lead slip at the end of the first set. To a certain extent, throw it away. They responded to win the next 2. Really struggled in the 4th, but recovered to take the 5th in the end rather comfortably by 15 points to 9. They'll milk the moment in front of such a large crowd, knowing that a difficult test awaits, with the quarter-final lineup set to be complete tonight at the end of the 3 playoff ties. The other 2 decided in home and away 2 legs. This one was all about tonight, and it had the drama and the excitement of 2 matches combined. Berlin lost their quarter-final against Italian side Trentino last season. Can they go further in the competition this time around with this set of players? These fans certainly got their money's worth. They've got some big performances from their big names. Karl along with Bremer initially before Schottler took the reins, but Karl was so consistent throughout, offering that second option. Beard along with Bremer to start with, and then along with Schottler in the final few sets. It's been a pleasure having your company for this playoff one-off here in the CEV Champions League. The team from Turkey, in such tough circumstances, trying to offer everything they had, but ultimately falling. And the team from Berlin, with home field advantage, able to take their place in the quarterfinals.
This big win, Anton, congratulations to this big win. Can you share your feelings with us?
Yeah, it was incredible in this gym to play this kind of match. Was really nice, emotions everywhere, and at the end, the good end for us, for sure.
We've seen 5 intensive sets. What made the difference between Berlin and Ankara, in your point?
I think we had the same energy or same level for sure, but at the end with these fans in this gym, we have the little things who increase us, and yeah, at the end it's really good win for us.
Looking forward, Anton, the next opponent in Champions League will be maybe the best team in the world, Perugia. What is your expectation?
For me, it's really nice. I'm really young, and to play against the best volleyball players in the world is every time good, and I'm motivated, and I think would be nice to win 1 set or maybe
maybe more.
Thank you, Anton. Have a good one. Bonne chance. Good luck.
The tough test awaits for Anton Bremer and Berlin. Our congratulations with the Germans, and of course our thoughts with the people of Turkey at this very tough time. Here in the CEV Champions League. We'll see you next time.